of North America. It's such a pleasure to be with you, Ricky. Guys, we've got an incredible show. Tell us in the comments where you're zooming in from today. We want to see where everyone is joining us from. But I think last time we had just a ton of people that were coming in from Europe, but all over North America.
Yeah.
We got San Diego, Sweden, Texas, Sweden,
Missouri,
Gibraltar. Oh my goodness.
California,
Illinois,
Canada.
So good to be with everyone today. You guys, we've got an action-packed show ready with tons of content talking about Prism. Now, to get started, I don't want to be the wet blanket, Ricky, but I wanted to read this quick disclaimer about Prism. It says, Prism IO is not a medical device and should not be used as a substitute for professional medical guidance. It is not intended to diagnose, cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease or medical condition or to affect the structure or function of any part of the body. Always consult your healthcare professional before making decisions related to your health or wellness. Please see the Prism IO User's Manual for a full list of safety instructions and warnings. So with that,
thank you for doing that. We needed that.
Yeah, we have to do it. We have to mention it. But you guys, today we want to talk more about Prism and what we're seeing with Prism. But specifically, because Ricky and I are on, we want to talk a little bit about business.
Absolutely. Now, you guys, for I would say probably the last 6 months, Buck, you've been taking the opportunity to call leaders all around the globe and talking to them about what is working, what's not working, what are you seeing? So I would love for you to share some of those insights and what you found today.
Okay. So this was really interesting to me because I anticipated that we were going to see different business models. And I mean, we see different business models all across the globe. So I anticipated that it was just going to be all across the map. But I took all of the growing leaders all over the globe. So Europe, in Asia, like here in the Americas, and we put them into spreadsheets asking specific questions about what they're doing, what products they were focused on, the platforms that they were using, how they were teaching and training and launching. And what came back was incredible.
Well, I can't wait to hear about it.
So I'm going to tell you, there's a couple of things that these things are probably, you'll see it and you'll hear it and you'll think, oh yeah, that makes sense. But it's a good reminder to me that, like, especially those of you that are on, that are leaders, that you're thinking about your organizations and your teams. I want you to just think about these things and think, okay, do we have this element within what we're doing right now? Right. Okay, so one of the first questions we asked was demographic. We wanted to know, is there a tie between demographics right now that are growing across the globe? And I want to see in the comments, in the chat, what if there was one demographic that came back that said it was having more success than other, what do you think that demographic would be in terms of male, female, age range? Yeah. What do you think? I want to see in the comments what you guys think.
And also the type of people that you're talking to. Are you talking to individuals at a gym? Are you talking to individuals at a spa? Who are you talking to out there and who's going to have the best results?
Yeah. Okay, we see some of the comments.
Okay, Jean says both.
Yeah. Women, menopause is what Maria Conte.
I agree.
Sports, mostly women, moms. So we're seeing some of these roll in. So here was the core growth demographic that we're seeing right now. So somebody said, Chris,
20 to 30s.
20 to 30s. Okay.
Interesting.
So are you guys ready? Drum roll, please. The first core growth demographic that came back was women 25 to 45, mainly focused on health and beauty and lifestyle. So it's integrated beauty and wellness.
Right.
Is that demographic? Now, is that?
And we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how do we integrate beauty and wellness? But is that surprising to you?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay. What about you guys in the comments? Is that surprising to you at all? I see Julie and Bill said men and women couples 40 to 60. Mallory said 30 and up. So yeah. And let's see. Rayanne says, not at all. It's not surprising.
Not surprising at all, right?
Okay. So yeah, I feel like there's this, when I was doing my MBA, and I don't have the facts on this one, but I remember one of my professors saying, women control the pocketbook. They control the purse strings of the purchasers in the home. And there was,
I would agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. In fact, he said the only purchases that a man controls by himself is the type of alcohol that he drinks and the cigarettes that he smokes.
Oh,
That was the one thing that I remember when we were talking about where the purchase decisions were happening.
right.
So yeah, it wasn't really eye-opening. Now it did come back and give some secondary segments. Okay. So it said healthcare professionals in North America, young lifestyle entrepreneurs, and this was also North America and Asia, and then community-based social groups, and this was in Southeast Asia. So just some interesting data
Right.
there. Okay.
And going back to the first, demographic, women, someone just said in the chat, your family, absolutely. This is going to impact our entire household, especially if women are out there making the decisions on what's being purchases for the homes. I can't wait to talk to our speaker later today and hear all about what she's doing with her kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the kid, in fact, I could go on and on
Right.
about how moms sacrifice for themselves so that they can provide for their children.
Absolutely.
I think moms do that more than dads.
Probably.
Okay, so here's number 2. The second thing that came out of this study was platform strategy. So it said, here was the question. It's like, is it offline? Is it online? How are they communicating with customers? How are they selling products? How are they building their teams? And so I'm curious, like, what do you think it said?
Well, I would assume it's got to be in person is having the most success. And that's what people are doing today, right? What do you guys think out there?
So let's see. Mallory comes in, says virtual.
Yeah.
In person. Rhonda says in person. Rayanne says, I think in person. Both. Daniel N says both. Jean-Michel says in person, all 50-50 hybrid. Okay.
Well, let's see what it said.
So this is what it said. Platform strategy, digital first plus community reinforcement. So you guys that said both were right on the money. So it said that basically across the globe, the number one platform that people are using is Instagram.
Yeah.
So they're creating that awareness and interest on Instagram, but driving to conversations. And then it said that they were supporting their teams and organizations and customers and community with infrastructure. So it could be Zoom calls, it could be FaceTiming, onboarding, community chats, in-person events. So
Yeah.
I know we've got some teams that are out doing leadership events, retreats right now. And that's exactly what it's talking about. It's like you've got the online, but you've got the offline. And that offline is where you're developing each other, where you've got the culture that are coming in. And so, yeah, it's a balance of both.
Absolutely. And I think digital first is important because that's how it builds the awareness of what we're trying to get out there right now. But I'm hearing from leaders that they're having success both virtually and in person, right?
Yeah.
And we're not really seeing a difference in the two. They're both having success. So I don't even have to be in person with Buck. As long as I'm having that conversation, we're able to get those customers on a subscription.
Yeah. So here was the key insights that came away from this. One, there was the digital attraction.
Yep.
But then there was, for brand new people that were starting in the business, there was a structured onboarding.
Okay.
So they had an onboarding program for that brand new person. And then 3, it said community-based retention. What do you hear, or what do you think of when you hear that?
Community, I think all about how we're making people feel. A lot of people come in because they want to make a little bit of money, but they stay for the community, that inspiration, and how as a leader, you're making others feel. So if people feel like they belong to something, they're going to stay in this business.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it was saying, is that you got to have that community and you have to have the culture, and that's what keeps people around. Okay. Number 3, product growth engines.
Okay.
So it said that there are trends that are happening. The number one growth category for us across the globe, it said, was weight management, TRME, TR90, followed by Meta, T-Green, LifePack, and then metabolism kits.
So those are the best selling products for these growing leaders.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so that was number one. That was kind of that weight management, metabolic wellness was number one. This is
Okay.
global. Okay. Number two was collagen. So collagen, which is our number one
Yes.
selling product in North America.
Yes.
And I know it's a strong seller over in Europe as well.
And yes, especially in Latin America.
Oh,
right?
Latin America right now, it is, that and LumiSpa are the number 1 and 2 most selling products. They're building their businesses off of collagen. So that's not surprising. Number 3 was, it said acceleration lever, and it said devices. So it might be Well Spa, it could be LumiSpa, Prism falls within that category. So nothing too surprising there, but I just thought, that was something interesting to point out. It was heavy globally on wellness. Now, here, when we look at North America, I feel like there's been a heavy, strong emphasis on beauty.
Yeah.
And beauty and skincare over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. And here in North America, we're actually about 50-50. We're 50 in our Pharmanex products is about half of our business. And the other half is that beauty and skincare side. And I can't wait to share with you guys in a little bit how the Prism is not a replacement of any of these conversations. It's an enhancement to this beauty and skincare conversation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Number 4, subscription as a growth multiplier. So these organizations, these leaders, it's built into how they're attracting customers and affiliates. Subscription is a core part of it. So ADR in some markets, I don't even know what that stands for. I don't know either. ADR. Something renewal. So the subscriptions, it says across regions, higher growth correlates with subscriptions. And they've got starter bundles. Somebody put it in the comments. Automatic delivery reward.
There you go.
I knew that, but I just couldn't think of it. So it said North American leaders with 120 to 160% year-over-year growth are actively promoting subscriptions, running sub-focused incentives, and anchoring new customers in auto delivery. In other areas, it's they've got starter bundles, but structured product systems recognition tied to volume milestones. So,
yeah,
I mean, all normal stuff. Okay, number 5. Okay, duplication model. Okay, team, what do you hear? Like when you hear duplication model, what do you think of? Okay, this is what I want to hear from
people started with this duplication model, right? It's really about what are you teaching them and how can they then go sponsor and teach somebody else to do the same exact thing. What are you guys hearing out there? What's working? What are you guys doing?
Okay, so there was 3 big components that came away from these duplication models. Okay, number 1, it was a clear entry system. We talked about it just previously, where it's like you've got a clear way that you're coming into the business. This is the product, and this is how I enter. And you've got a bundle that you might be purchasing to come in. I know over in Asia, those TRME bundles, those are the way that they're bringing people in. And then there's simple income milestones along the way. That was number 1 in the duplication model. Number 2 was formalized onboarding. We talked about this. So once you're in, then it's product education. It might be platform or social media training, clear first action steps, and regular follow-up.
Okay.
So, nothing too mind-blowing there. Number 3 was leadership development.
Yes.
And this is one that I see that can be a gap. In fact, speaking with some of our European leaders, this is one area where they've been investing in over the last little bit, it sounds like. So it's weekly meetings, it's recognition, it's trip qualifications, it's accountability, but even still, like we do an amazing job. Our leaders do an amazing job of talking mindset and leadership mindset. But it's as you're progressing into a leader, there are elements of being a leader. There's soft skills and hard skills. And the hard skills, oftentimes, we're not talking about.
Right.
And when I think about leadership, I think about influence. Leadership is the ability to influence other people. And so if leadership is the ability to influence other people, you need to know the levers that you have at your fingertips to pull to influence behaviors of an organization.
Exactly.
And so those leaders need to understand, how do I recognize people? What are the best practices of recognizing people? How do I teach and train people? And what does that look like? How do I run incentives? And how do I know if incentives that I'm running for my team are like breaking even, or if I'm spending too much money, or what's the appropriate amount? Time management. Like, how do I manage my time? How do I know who to focus on and who not to focus on within my business? I mean, we could go on and on, but these are some of those like hard skills that in hyper growth sometimes get missed.
Absolutely.
And you've got leaders that don't pick up on that. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What are you seeing so far? Are some of these gaps in duplication models that we have, or do you feel like we're in a good spot with them? Ricky, any thoughts on that?
Well, Daniel says that one of his models is number one, keep it simple. And I absolutely agree, because when individuals are confused, they're not in action, right? So keep it simple, scanning 100 on online or offline, but getting 100 scans, assessments to 10 customers to 10 people that'll join your team. So that's what Daniel's doing out there.
Yeah. I love that. Tracy says, if only one person does it, it's not duplicatable. You need a system. Yes, Tracy, absolutely. Like that's the whole crux of everything that we do. I remember if you, I think this was in the 2000s here in the United States, they had a system of no child left behind in the education system.
Yes.
It said no child left behind. And I often thought about that, because in education, we're all grateful for our children. Everybody's learning how to read. Everyone's learning how to do math. Everyone's learning how to write, and those are the core things that you don't want any child left behind. But then when we think about it, can you imagine if in the education system, they said, well, we're going to spend our time working with the kids that are performing.
Right.
And so you had kids that came in and they were the bookworms and they were the ones that were studying, and be like, okay, teacher, set aside your time for this kid, but these kids are not showing a lot of potential. We're not going to work with them. Right. And I think of our new affiliates starting and how many of them are getting the core needs in their business. Like, how are they getting the product training?
Right.
Are they getting understanding the business? Do they know what those actionable steps are? And where we could say no affiliate left behind,
right?
Where at least we've got the foundation in place that we could make sure that these guys are getting the basics to have success.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of you out there, leaders, have many of these systems put together, but Buck, I know that you're also working on with partnership across the globe. How can we streamline that even more to make sure no affiliate is left behind?
Yeah, like especially when it comes to systems, leaders have got to have that portion of it, because everyone's going to have a different flavor of their system.
Right.
But what we can do internally, because one of the pieces of feedback that I've heard, and we actually a couple of weeks ago on this broadcast, we talked a little bit about the percentage of people that understand what a carotenoid and antioxidant is.
Very low.
Yeah, I think it was 13% of the population understands that. So if we're talking carotenoids, antioxidants, free radicals, oxidative stress, it's just speaking a language that is like, over the heads of everybody.
Right.
And so how do we speak a language that makes more sense? And how do we educate our affiliates to be able to talk about it, feel confident, but also move forward? In fact,
Absolutely.
I think we're going to talk a little bit about that today with Monica.
We are. And so we got training that's going to come out to help educate us, one. But two, guys, you don't have to be a scientist to talk about it. When I was talking to one of our brand new leaders who came in because of Prism and has been running with it, she's actually one of the brand new leaders of who we're going to speak with later. And I said, well, how do you keep it simple for people? And she says, well, I say you need more of the good guys in your body. That's it. You need more of the good guys, less of the bad guys. And the good guys, well, that's your antioxidants.
Yeah.
So she keeps it that simple and she's having success.
And that makes sense. That makes sense to people. It's like talking fruits and vegetables and needing more fruits and vegetables. We don't get enough of them.
Right.
People know that, at least hopefully people know that the brightly colored fruits and vegetables are where all of these antioxidants and carotenoids are found.
Right.
And if we can talk in terms of, yeah, that makes sense, then we can help people, make decisions more quickly.
Right.
Okay, man, let's see. Number 6, okay, community and recognition culture.
Okay.
I feel like this is one that our leaders do a good job of.
Yeah.
But it's one that we can recognize more, and we're trying to internally build out the systems to recognize more and more people faster, better than ever before.
Exactly.
For the little milestones, like your first check, your first $100, like everything that you can do to recognize those new milestones to make sure that people know that they're walking the right path. But a couple of things that it had in there. Particular emphasis, celebration of milestone, sub-volume focus, and team closeness and authenticity. Those were some of the major takeaways, but it was like social identity. They're recognizing the culture of the organization. So some have, running clubs or salon models or influencer brands. Let's see, 7. So let's jump into the next one. Are you ready?
Well, I just wanted to add into that on recognition. Everyone loves hearing their name.
Yes.
Everybody loves getting a high five, even if you say you don't. It is so powerful. And guess what? As a mom, I don't get a high five. I don't get a good job. So when you get it from work or when you get it from your community, it speaks volume.
Yeah. You think about your kids, and I think about like my kids. If my youngest daughter does something that's, funny, if she does like, I don't know, an imitation or does a dance or something like that, and we applaud for her, what immediately happens?
Oh, her face probably lights up.
Her face lights up, and all of my other kids, then they jump up to start doing the same thing because they're like, well, that's what is getting recognized.
Exactly.
I'm going to do the same thing. Here's my version. And that is the power of recognition.
Right.
When you're recognizing the behaviors that you want within your organization, that's what starts to duplicate.
Absolutely.
And so the more that we can focus on those things that are these growth drivers, we're going to see that activity grow. And again, it was brought up, keep it simple, but it's got to be focused on those growth drivers.
And recognition is free.
Right.
It doesn't cost you anything. It may take some of your time, right? As you're pulling lists and you're celebrating, maybe making a post, but you can do that at no cost.
Yeah. I love this. Tracy says, I never got recognition for doing the dishes or laundry. Maybe you should have, Tracy.
Tracy, great job.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Rose says, we will have life pack elements in Canada. Oh,
okay, great question, Rose. As I'm sure everybody wants life pack elements, we are super close in Canada. Right now, we are going through our testing with Health Canada, which is extremely strict, as you guys know, and we are pushing probably in the next 2 months to have life pack elements in Canada.
Let me just, let's tie a bow on this section, this first section of today. So here was kind of the key takeaways from this study. The target was women 25 to 45, mainly use Instagram as the primary attraction engine. Okay. Attraction engine, but businesses were online and offline. Anchor around wellness, collagen, device bundles. Okay. Promote subscription early. So leaders, this goes back to that training piece. It's like, do new affiliates understand the benefits of being on subscription, and can they talk about it? Because if they can talk about it, they're more likely to help other people participate in that program and get the benefits of it.
Right. And I always like to ask, who's on a subscription out there? Maybe for other companies, right? Sometimes you think subscriptions are scary, but for me, subscriptions save my life, right? We are busy individuals, and I'm forgetting all the things that I need to purchase, and you run out of your product, and guess what? The next day it shows up.
Yeah.
So think of it as you are helping your customers, not as that it's not scary.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago when Amanda Carr was on, we asked her about how she talks about subscriptions with customers and how she naturally just threads it in. And she said, I asked them, okay, before you check out, are you interested in saving some money? Can I help you save some money? And then she introduces that program. And then it's completely on them, but she's giving them the benefits of the program and lets them run with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anchor around wellness, collagen, promote subscription early, implement clear starter systems. So having some type of system for helping people
Right.
get on board. Remember, no affiliate left behind. Run the structured onboarding, build recognition-driven leadership culture. And then the last one was combine digital attraction with community retention.
Okay.
Those were the big global takeaways from this. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is just like a checklist that we could use globally to make sure that we've got all of these in place to basically create the environment for growth going forward.
Absolutely. So I hope as you're hearing some of those, what was it, 8 points that you're thinking about, do I have these in my business and where can I add in things as well? Right?
Yeah. So you guys, of those on the list, what do you feel like was the biggest takeaway? What do you feel like is the biggest area where you see that you could improve? Now, if some of you guys are like, oh, like I'm a team of one, all of this you can use for yourself. You know, you got to start now. You got to have the mindset of a leader.
Yep.
And be thinking about a leader starting now. So Alan said, send us the checklist, 8 points to us. Alan, absolutely, I will. I want to hear from you guys though. What are the biggest takeaways? It says clear start with product knowledge, clear onboarding structure. I could definitely improve. So you guys, I was thinking about this because, you know, Latin America we pulled their product offering down to just collagen.
Right.
And the amazing thing about having one focus, one product that you're focused on, it makes it so easy to teach and train other people how to do what you're doing.
Because it's so simple. It's one thing.
It's one thing.
Not saying that we're going to do that here.
Right. But it's one thing. And those teams that focus, they're the ones that get the most results.
On a system and on a product and moving forward.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing onboarding is the one. Okay. So we're 30 minutes in. Let's now introduce our special guest for today.
Okay. Now, before we do that, you guys, I'm so excited for you guys to hear from this incredible woman. But before we do that, we've been talking a lot, probably the last, 8 months, solely on the Prism, right? And I want to make sure, because Monica has done this so beautifully, and oops, I just spoiled who's coming. She's done this so beautifully as how to transition both the skincare and beauty world plus wellness.
Yeah, because they're tied together.
They are tied together. And which I didn't know early on in my career. I've been in skincare and beauty for 18 years. And as most women do, we solely focus on the topical products.
Yeah.
And what is going to help us get the best skincare of our life. So many of us out there are cleansing, we're toning, we're using those great devices because we want to have the best skin.
Yeah. But the skin starts within.
Absolutely.
That worked.
That was great.
So you guys, in fact, the Jiaotong study that we just did in China, it came back and showed a high scan score correlates with healthier skin.
Right.
In fact, the study that we're doing right now in Yonsei University in Seoul, Korea, it has skin implications as well. I've read studies, and I know I'm supposed to cite this. I don't have the citation with me right now, but that show that people that have higher carotenoid scores, higher levels of antioxidants and carotenoids, are perceived as more beautiful. Because they have this, they call it the carotenoid glow.
Yeah.
And so they've even seen it in the animal world that there was a study done on, I want to say finches, and they looked at the color of the beaks, and the ones that had the brighter colored beaks, which was a representation of the level of carotenoids in their beaks.
Like a bright orange?
Brighter orange, like oranges, brighter oranges and yellows. Those ones that were the ones that mated more often and reproduced more often. So it was almost selecting for higher carotenoid scores. So yes, it all begins within.
Absolutely. And so again, for us out there and for you guys, you have built these incredible, huge beauty and skincare businesses.
Yeah.
And it's not one or the other, as I hope all of you heard Tori Armstrong last week when she was on with Kathy and Ryan. She talked really about it's not the or, it's not this or that. And that's been a huge mindset shift for her. It's this and that. So how do we take this incredible skincare and beauty business that you guys have already built and add in that wellness side?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys, now I didn't know this again early on in my career, but as I started with Nu Skin and really kind of digging in and taking care of myself first so I can be a product of the product and share those stories, you guys, everything that we're looking for, that skin firmness, the elasticity, the hydration, the glow, all of that comes down to the collagen production, your antioxidant protection, gut health, and my favorite, hormones.
Yeah.
So if we can help on that side, it's also going to help on the outside as well, which most of us are looking for.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love the comments that are coming up right now. So Chris said beauty is an inside job. Heather said so powerful, great skin starts within is right. And then Chris followed it up and said, you also look better because you feel better.
Right.
I completely, not only when you feel better, you look better, I don't know, your personality comes through too.
So as most of you guys know, I was a swimmer, competitive swimmer, and we always used to say, look good, feel good, swim fast, right? And that started with the inside out. But I want you guys to think of this as it's, again, not either or, it's this and that. So 50% of the results that you're looking for come from that topical product. The other 50% come from the wellness. And that's how we should be having conversations with our customers. Now, here's a good line that I saw on chat this morning. Are you ready for this? If you want your skincare to work better, you got to support your body too. Skincare gives you the results, but wellness keeps the results.
I love that. That is so good. Ricky, and you know, the interesting thing is we don't think of Life Pack being a skincare product.
Right.
But it absolutely, I mean, Nano is the product that's going to boost your score more than anything else.
Absolutely.
And that is one thing that's going to help you maintain, you know, that beauty on the inside.
Those results that you're working so hard for.
You know, one of the best products that we have that I feel like kind of straddles both. And it was interesting when we rolled out collagen in North America. So we launched it originally, the liquid collagen in North America. And it was like we had every team across the board that focused on it. It was one of the highest participation rates of a launch globally. And I want to say it was like 70 some odd percent.
Yeah.
And to me, that was a sign of that it appealed to the beauty and skincare demographic, but it also appealed to the demographic of wellness, those individuals that were focused on wellness. And I think Kathy and Ryan got into this a little bit last week with Tori, and they were talking about the reasons why lutein is in there to protect you from the sun. But then there was also, so it's got the lutein, which is the carotenoid, but then collagen and the benefits that we see with collagen for the skin in particular. And all the studies that we've done showing that it actually does what we say that it does.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that was probably one of the bigger products that's more of a crossover across the board.
Right. Because most of us take collagen for the results on the outside, right? And that is such a great bridge because it also is proven to increase our scores as well. So we did get a couple questions and they said, repeat that line again. And this is, again, just what clicked with me is that skincare gives you the visible results. Your wellness helps you keep those results.
Yeah, that's so good.
Okay, but I think it's time. Should we bring
our guest?
That everyone already knows?
We've already both said. Okay, you guys, our guest for today. Do you want to give her a quick introduction? You've got some talking points on her.
One of my favorite things about this woman is that no matter what is going on in the world, and I'll tell you, she's been through a lot this week with just personal life, right? It doesn't matter. She is always positive and always looking how to make herself better. And to think about, you don't have to be a scientist or a doctor, have that background to talk about Prism, because our speaker wasn't.
Yeah.
She was a teacher. She was someone who taught teachers how to teach. And that's probably why she's so good at what she does, right?
No affiliate left behind.
That's right. This woman is not leaving any affiliate behind, but she's got 3 kids at home. She's been with Nu Skin for 7 years and located in Illinois.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Team Elite, Monica Polk.
Monica. Hey, Monica. Look at the glow from within that Monica has. How are you,
glow
Monica?
within.
She's got
I
that
love
glow
it.
that you were talking about.
Right. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. I'm loving the whole checklist and everything that you guys have been sharing so far. I've got my notepad going here too. So thank you for all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, before we jump in with the hard questions, Monica, just give everyone a quick 1 to 2 minutes. Who are you? And talk a little bit about how you started with Nu Skin.
Well, absolutely. So, hello. I'm so honored to be here. Monica Polk. I started with Nu Skin about 7.5 years ago, and I started for a shopping spree. That is all I wanted. I did not allow myself to dream. I was terrified of basically my own shadow at that time when it came to just not having confidence. I didn't want to put myself out there. Um, and I was really slow to roll in a lot of senses. So I just want to put this out there that don't judge someone based off how they start because you never know where they're going to end, right? This has completely changed your life. So once I allowed myself to start dreaming and realizing that this was still teaching, just in a whole new caliber, and that I wanted the flexibility to design my days on my time, but yet still make an impact, that's when I really started leaning in. And here we are. I do this full time and I'm so honored and blessed to be able to work with so many people on a day-to-day basis to improve their lives.
Awesome, Monica. And I want to say we are so grateful to have you.
Thank you.
What an incredible story. And I love it that we have a teacher in our midst because that's exactly what you've done is you've taught other people over and over again on how to find some success with Nu Skin. Now, you guys, I feel like we do need to say this is Monica's unique story.
Yes.
So, no income.
No income.
Yeah, no
claim
one
here,
comes,
right?
just flexibility.
Yeah.
I just wanted flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monica, so you came in for the beauty, the skincare side of it, and
Yes.
you've made this incredible transition to bring in Prism into your current business. Was that something that you were like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to jump into wellness, or was it kind of scary at first?
So, if you think about it, majority of us who are on socials and more so in the quote unquote beauty realm, we have been doing collagen, we have been doing new biome, we have been supporting and sharing wellness in a sense. Do I have or did I have Life Pack subscriptions? No, I did not. Was I a huge consumer of the Nu Skin product and our Farmer Next supplements? 1,000%. And I think that's a really big piece of the puzzle that you're going to hear me say a lot today is like, this starts with you. So it doesn't matter where you're at on this journey, you have to start with your own story. And I was able to correlate that within my own household pretty quickly because when I knew the Prism was coming, I think one of the most special things about Nu Skin is we are 40 years old. 40 years old. And I mean, I'm not even 40 yet, almost. So it's a little bit ahead of me. Let's milk that, okay? But when we think about that, we can see year over year, decade over decade, innovations with Nu Skin. It doesn't matter what's happening in the world. It doesn't matter what's happening with other companies. Nu Skin is always ahead of the innovation. They're working on things that we can't even fathom right now. And that brings me so much comfort and joy. So when I knew that this little beauty was going to become, I say Polly Pocket size, like back to me, it's literally like Polly Pocket. It can go with you everywhere and can make such a profound difference. I was terrified. Absolutely terrified. But I also know that not all moments of time are created equal. And I've seen that within Nu Skin, and you see it with some of the top leaders that have been around for decades. They talk about specific moments. And mark my word, I am not one to miss a moment. And I did miss some moments early on in this business. I did not seize the opportunities I needed to. So once I knew this was coming, although terrified, yes, like I will not miss out on this moment of time and the impact that I can have.
So, Monica, thank you for sharing that. But how did you overcome that fear? Like, what was? I mean, because I imagine that we've got some people that are like, "Oh man, I am not." Somebody wrote earlier, they're like, "Well, how do we overcome not talking about the biology and the science to be able to share these products?" Because not everyone's going to resonate with that. And so, how did you overcome that fear? And then, how do you talk about it?
Absolutely. So action. Like you can sit and practice and you can watch every training and you can try to listen to every video. You can talk to your best friend ChatGPT all day long. But you literally will not be successful until you get into action. One of my first business partners solely on the Prism was one of my personal trainers. I have worked on her. Steph and I have talked about the business for years, absolute years. And I knew with the Prism, this was so aligned to who she is and how she helps other people. And so I will never forget sitting outside of of the gym where she works at. I had the big Prism, or no, I'm sorry, at the time it was the beta. So I had it in a little new skin bag and I was shaking. I was sweating. I was like, this is horrible. I fumbled my words. It was far from perfect, but I said, listen, Steph, I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to know every in and out. But what I can tell you is I can send you all the ins and outs. And that is what people need to understand. The best way for you to have the most success is to be authentically true to you. So I am not becoming a scientist. I'm a teacher. I literally say I taught fourth grade. Yes, I have master's degrees and I think I'm an intelligent individual, but you guys, I don't understand like when I'm reading all these clinical studies, it is like gibberish to me, nor do I have the time to worry about reading these studies. Anyone that wants the studies, we can send to them. And what a gift. We have Substack, go to the New Skin, what is it, the Insider, Product Insider?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything you need is there. And I will tell you, whenever I do throw out, the studies and who we're partnered with and clinically validated, I've had more people come back and be like, I don't care. Like, I trust you if this is where we're at. It's like, great. So it was one of those things I had to get into action. I'm just now months into the point where I feel pretty calm about it. I still mix up. I still don't know every word. I could hardly say carotenoid when I first started. But I will tell you, okay, fucking Ricky, majority of people don't even know what carotenoids are. People in the wellness space are completely clueless on them. So it's like here we're so worried about what our people are going to think. When someone is sitting on the other side of me, whether it be virtually or whether it be they're actually putting their finger, they're really not concerned about what I'm saying. They're terrified what their score is going to be.
Right. Yeah.
They're consumed with their self, as they should be, right? As they should be. But it's really coming down to you have to get into messy action and the success will follow.
I love that you're getting into messy action because that's what makes you confident in all the other conversations to come and how you can blend the skincare and beauty in with that wellness. Now, Monica, I know you've been working really hard on getting out there with gym owners and other individuals. I know that you recently had another friend join you who you've also been talking to for, I think, 7 years. And she strictly came into it now because of the Prism IO. And so tell us a little bit about how that looked and why she's having success.
Yes. Similar story in the sense of you're going to follow a theme here with me. And when I make a decision, like I'm going to where I want to go. And I'm bringing the people that are willing to come with me. And so Heather and I have been, I've done gym classes of Heather's for years. We've always stayed connected through socials. We've just always had a really beautiful bond. And so I started planting the seed with her half a year ago. This device is coming. This device is coming. Guys, I didn't know even how to explain the device, but I have enough confidence in New Skin and who we're partnered with and to know what the scanner has done for decades. Decades. This is not some one-hit wonder. Ooh, we pulled this out of thin air a month ago. No. This is rooted in decades of technology and history and data. And so I knew I could start talking about this the second I possibly could. So I went to Heather, and the really magical thing I want everyone to hear here is that at the end of the day, timing matters for everyone and the alignment for them. And when I brought this up to Heather, she had some personal things going on and she's like, don't forget me. I love you. I have zero capacity to hear anything right now. I said, I get it. I absolutely get it. But then when I got it in my hands, reached out again, I'm like, okay, of course we stay in connection, right? Just as humans do outside of the business. Okay. So someone tells you no, one doesn't mean no for forever. And if they tell you no or no, thank you, they might have someone they bring to you. So just remember that. Keep being a human. Do not take a no or rejection personally. You're on a mission for the people who are willing to hear it. So circled back to her, and I went in and I scanned her. I scanned a couple of her training clients, and it was so cute because she scored lower than she was anticipating. And I was like, so if this is something you're interested in business-wise, she's like, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like I'd be dumb not to. I'm like, I mean, yeah, but that's your decision and your words. And we were laughing. And so she started, and we are solely focused on the Prism and subscriptions, and a lot of people I'm bringing into the business. This is like, we've got business one and we've got business two, as Tori, Ashley Robichaud and I were talking about yesterday. And business one is still there and it's thriving. And I've got my organization that's rocking business one as they step into business two with the Prism. But then I have people coming in with Prism business two, the Prism, solely the Prism. And as they're doing it, I know it is going to be the gateway into business one for them. It's just the opposite approach, right? Because both businesses you're running based off of human connection and relationships. That's what this is about. Human relationships, connections, solving people's problems. And when you build that baseline of trust, it doesn't matter what form of the business you're doing. When you build that trust, people listen to what they have, what you have to say. And when you listen to what people have to say, that trust builds. And then all of a sudden the connections happen. And it's a beautiful mix that starts to flow. So although I say Prism, the Prism business with a lot of my new affiliates, and that is what we're focusing on. And it's assessments in person, it's assessments virtually, it is getting prisms in homes, it is helping those healthy households happen. In time, as they're earning, Heather, is about to close the third quick start tier in a matter of 2 months, like month one and then month 1 and 2. And now she's going to do quick start 3 here before the end. Huge deal. Guess what? All of those products are going into her home. Right. And so then she's choosing some wellness. I see her. Let's go, girl. I see you, Heather. My other trainer, Quick Start, she's getting Quick Start 1. And so when you start to think about those things, they're being introduced to the other side of products. And then when people trust you in wellness, it's one and the same. You can't have a gorgeous outside without the gorgeous inside. And so it's just taking a different approach on the way they're entering the business. And I think everyone needs to have that holistic view as we enter 2026 in this new era of the Prism.
I love that.
Yeah.
Such good advice, Monica.
Especially, I love the part that you called it business one, a business two. You have this incredible business one, which I'm assuming is your skincare, your beauty, the Lumi Spa.
Yes.
All of that. And then business two, right, is the expansion of what the Prism IO can do with this already incredible network that you have.
Yeah.
And that comes from Tori. Tori Armstrong gets the credit for
It's
business
teamwork,
one and business two. It's
right?
teamwork.
Yeah. It's
I'm just
teamwork.
the one that gets to share it. That it's coming from our girl Tori.
So Monica, I remember as you got started, playing around with the Prism, you had some interesting interactions at home with your children. In fact, I saw a video that you sent to us about one of your children that didn't have, crying, that didn't have the score that they were hoping for. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why that was a pivotal moment for you?
Oh, absolutely. I'd be honored to. The biggest thing and the reason we're having success with the Prism is because every person that's starting, I say, you have to start with your own story. Even if they see the vision. We just closed a big gym in town. They bought multiple Prisms. We have an event on the 14th. We've got these things rocking and rolling. And I said, but you have to start with your own story. And for me, when I started with my own story, and everyone's story is going to be different, and that's why this can be easy. It's simple because you're literally just speaking your truth.
Yeah.
And the person across from you might not relate to that truth, but when you start to listen to enough stories, you can tie in your friends, fellow business partner. You guys can start using my story today here, right? If you don't have kids, if the community is not an issue you struggle with, use my story. The next time you're scanning someone who's, borrow it. That's the beauty of this. And when we come together globally, think of all the stories, no matter what, you will know a story that is going to connect to the person across from you. And so for me, I started, I didn't take the scanning very seriously when I'd come to Utah because I'd be there 2 times a year. And I felt like it just wasn't fast enough. And you can't really change what you can't track. So when I knew this was coming into our homes, I knew I could track it. So I started making a difference. And a year ago, we underwent a whole house renovation. We were living in our basement. I just gotten back from a team event in Utah. So flying, exposed to a lot of people, a lot of germs, and my family got the stomach flu and I did not. And my mom was like, did you like hide somewhere? I don't understand. Did you go to the neighbors? Like, because I am usually the one with the weakest immune system. And that has been the story based off the facts since I was a little girl. And so that was the phase one of my story where I'm like, holy smokes, what's going on? Like, this is wild. And then we got the beta in our house and I scored a heck of a lot higher than my entire family.
Wow.
And here we are talking about moms, right? Sacrificing. And of course, we all do. And my first emotion was guilt.
Yeah.
I felt awful. Like, here I am doing better than the rest of my family. Like, that's as a mom, I felt awful. So I'm like, okay, I need to make a change. And so again, we can track it and we can change it. And so when I put my kids' fingers on this, they became obsessed. It's a game. It's an absolute game. And that's something that's really cool about this, because from my past and some struggles that I've had, I have been really cautious about how I parent my kids, especially around food, due to my poor relationship with food in the past. And so it's something I've been really aware of. And I always want to teach nothing's good or bad. I want to teach balance, all those things. And that's what this device does. Like, my kids know that to live a healthy, balanced life, yeah, they can have ice cream, but now it's like, what do you have to have before? They're like, vegetables. I said, great. Go eat some vegetables first. Take your pick. And they do it. There's no pushback. There's no rolling of the eyes. I mean, they've got some sass in those little bodies, and none of it anymore with vegetables. And then, of course, here's what starts to roll. And a lot of you will probably chuckle at this. So it starts with like my kids being super competitive. My youngest, who's 4, has the best diet. She scored the highest out of the 3. My husband was also scoring low. Then the kids' scores start changing. I'm getting them on Junkables. We're introducing G3, all these things. Okay. And then my husband's like, what? Why am I scoring so low? Like, well, I love you, but that's a you problem. Like, you have supplements in your drawer. You're like, I love you. I love you, Ryan. Go take your supplements. Okay. So again, I'm seeing behaviors shift in the home without me having to say a word. My kids are asking to scan. They're changing supplements. I had one of my son's friends' moms call me and she's like, Monica, I am dying. I told the boys that they could have some ice cream sandwiches. And Leo's response was, you know what? That's great. My mom said we can totally do it because it's all about balance. And she's got a little machine now that we put our fingers on and it tells us that we're balanced. And she's like, I don't know what this machine is, but like, can I see it? I'm like, absolutely. And it's like, how cool that we're starting a movement with my kids at such a young age, to the point where when the boys finally started out measuring Tessa, pure meltdown. Like, I mean, bawling hysterically. Mind you, balance, she's holding a freezer pop. She's like, I wanted to pink. And I'm like, well, the purple. Now she knows it's the purple. It was with the beta. She's like, the brothers did better than me. And like bawling.
You
And I'm
guys
like,
should have seen the video. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I felt bad videoing it. I'm like, oh, she's so upset. But I'm also like, this is the power of it. And then I'm like, what do you have to do? She's like, eat more vegetables and my vitamins. And at the end, she's like, can I get a hug? And I'm like, she needed that emotional support because her brothers got a higher scanner score than her. Like, how incredible, again, that it's the scanner doing the talking. And now our immunity, we just got sick, but I will tell you, my Leo, who's usually the sickest, and myself, I feel like I should go knock on wood, we didn't catch it. And what Tessa caught was for, 10 hours. It was a really quick bug. Like, what a blessing to see such a change. And it's been a year. It's been a year since our family has been sick. When it used to be the revolving door, it was the joke, don't go around the Polks. You'll catch something from like, literally all of our neighbors would be like, okay, well, what'd you guys have last time? Like, none of that this winter, nothing. And that's immunity. And that is because we're literally giving our body more of the good guys instead of the bad.
That is so great, Monica. A couple of things that you said there that I think are worth repeating is, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Facts tell, stories sell.
Yeah.
And we can go into all the facts and the figures about how many diodes that the Prism has and what it's measuring and Raman spectroscopy and spectral ray and all of that kind of stuff. But your story about your kids and the way that it's impacted your home, that has so much more value to anybody listening than all of the technicalities that go into Prism.
And your kids don't need that, right? They're not asking all those questions. They see red is bad and okay, how do I improve it? And I had the same experience in my own home, and we now scan every single week, and my girls are, I wouldn't say they're always asking for vegetables, but they're eating those vegetables without me having to have my mom voice, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So-
it's just not that same battle.
Yeah.
You know,
One
the
less
other-
battle. Amen.
The other thing, Monica, that I really resonated with me was the fact that once you have that story, that's where the passion comes from. And it makes sense that, like, if somebody in Latin America is trying our collagen and sees the results, they become more passionate about it. If somebody is using Prism and they see the results and it's impacting their family, they become more passionate about it. If it's TRME over in Asia or wherever you've got TRME and you see results with it, you become more passionate about it. And those are the things that move. It's passion, it's energy, it's how people perceive and can sense how you feel about things more than the facts and figures. It's your story that you're creating and your experience.
Yes.
Okay.
It's so heart-centered. And I think that's something that's so profound. You're not selling anything. Knowledge is power, as we keep saying, and we are showcasing with them, right? Like, here's the knowledge, do what you want with it.
Right.
We have an incredible 60-day money back guarantee. Like with our solutions, if you're interested in that, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, Monica, thank you for coming on today and
Yes,
to
thank
sharing
you.
with us how you are having your business one and your business two, and how you're working both of those together, and how you don't have to have all the answers. It's about getting into messy action to help you build that confidence going forward. So thank you so much for joining us today, and can't
Thank
wait
you
to
for
see what
having
you
me.
do next.
Now,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, reach out in the comments. Let us know some of the things that you would like to dive deeper on so that we can put those in the upcoming
Right.
broadcasts, and we can know exactly what are some of the things that you're curious about. But you guys, we're at the top of the hour. This has been amazing. And I want to say thank you again to Monica Polk for being on today and sharing with us, her story.
Right.
Ricky, thank you for being on.
Thank you, Buck.
And
Great.
it's been so much fun. You guys remember those 8 things that we talked about for being a leader and what it takes for growth in, and, you know, it's not just new skin. These are principles of leadership
Absolutely.
in any type of environment. So you guys, thank you so much. Send us notes. We want to hear from you on what you're thinking, what you'd like to see more on these broadcasts. But with that, you guys, this is Integrated Wellness Revolution. I'm Buck McMurray. This is Ricky Salvage. It's been so good to be with you. You guys have an amazing weekend, and we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Record.